Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Good.
Look at it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Oh, you know what it is like when you bite your tongue by mistake and it really, really, really hurts. But if you bite your tongue on purpose, it doesn't hurt. Also, you just bit your tongue. I'm Greg. He's Tom. It's your Saturday Morning Stateline Show. Good morning, my friend.
You're right. I did. And
right.
It did hurt, though.
Worst feeling, biting your tongue or biting the side of your cheek?
Oh, biting probably the side of your cheek.
I'm going
it's
with
almost, yeah, it's almost paralyzing. It's like it stops you in your tracks for 30 seconds or so. It just, oh my God.
It's one of the worst feelings. I don't know what it is, but you get that. Okay, I'm just checking right now. On my left cheek, smooth, fine. On my right cheek, there's actually a line here where I've bitten my cheek so many times in my 50 plus years of living. That looks like a scar right there.
I have an added problem. In my motorcycle accident, I lost 2 teeth up here.
Oh,
sorry, yeah. I mean, I could probably get implants or whatever. So what happens is I will bite it quite often up there. I got to be careful. I lost them in the accident. One I lost that day. One of them fell out a few years later. It got loose and just fell out. Problem is, when I had my accident, I had a fixator on my arm. I had all kinds of weird hardware and junk. And the dentist, when I went to the dentist, he said, I can't do anything with you because you have a fixator on your arm. I had the fixator for 6 months.
Okay.
He couldn't. I don't know why. I was in a wheelchair and I had a fixator, and apparently because I had steel in my arm, that was, I don't know. He just said, I can't do anything until you get that out. Well, then I never went back.
I'm just glad you survived, my friend. That's all I care about. You made it.
I am too. Where is my? Oh, there it is. I was looking for my thumb.
There's
there
it is. It's at the end of your arm. It's actually a part of your.
You got me on really small screen. I know. I'm only this big today.
This way, give you a little more left.
You can see all my teddy bears. Yeah, you can see my teddy bears, and then there's some over here.
We'll bring our guest in just a couple of minutes, but before we get there, reminder everybody, it's the 7th day of May, the year 2022, the latest it has ever been
in the history of mankind.
And you made it. Congratulations. We're so glad you're here. We have a big number of the week for you this week, and my friend, it's huge. It is a big number. This week's big number of the week is 6 trillion with a T, 6 trillion. That's a big number. And the answer this week is gain or golf. Gain or golf. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. 6 trillion. If you want to look that up, will you find something in the recent news this last week that caught my attention that had the number 6 trillion involved? You just might find it before the show's up. If you want,
are you trying to talk us into cheating or what?
I'm trying to encourage listener involvement. That's what I'm trying to encourage this week.
Well, I'm sure Carlos Danger out there will probably do it. So, Carlos, if you have a guess, just make it a guess. Don't say I looked it up, because I don't look it up, and I want to do it on my merit.
All right. Let's see. At last check, where are we at here? At our current
1-0.
1-0,
Joann.
Tom completely trounced Joann in the last round of our race to 10. The final score there was like 10-6, but it wasn't even close. So, all right, 6 trillion. This week's answer is either gain or golf. We'll give you the answer coming up. Not as many shout outs this week. I had a fairly quiet week this week, Tom. Pretty almost boring. And I'll take it. I'm okay with it. I want to congratulate Tina on getting a condo under contract this week, anytime we get a property under contract, it feels like a total reason to celebrate because it's a real struggle in the real estate market right now. The struggle is just simply the fact that the inventory has been really low and there's plenty of buyers. So way more buyers than sellers is causing multiple offers on properties. And there's never been a more important time to have a buyer specialist on your side to help coach you through the situation of what's going on, explain the market to you, and help you give you your best opportunity to win. I know a couple of weeks ago I was telling you about a potential client I was talking to on the phone, trying to explain to them how losing is not fun. I would rather win. And here's what you need to do to win in this market. And he was a little frustrated with the advice I was giving with him. So he decided to work with someone else. And I'm like, that's fine. Go right ahead. I'll be beating you with my clients who are ready to win because you took advice from somebody else who's not going to encourage you to do the right thing to win.
Mm-hmm.
Is that simple enough? I'm trying to put this in.
It sounds pretty simple.
It's not difficult. There's some legwork that buyers need to do up front to make sure they're prepared to purchase, and we can help them with that. They just need to take advice.
I think what's happened is life has taught us to become suspicious of everything. If it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true, then it usually is too good to be true. Okay, I get that to an extent, but sometimes things really are just that simple.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of go with your gut.
And then there's the flip side of that coin, Tom, which is I want things to be simpler. And I already did this legwork I thought was the legwork I was supposed to do. And now you're telling me I crawled up the wrong ladder and I need to get down and go up a different ladder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I want you to win. The ladder you're on right now, it's up against a wall. You're not going to get on the roof. All right. You want to get on the roof? Follow me. I know the way. Let's go. So anyway, that was kind of my week in real estate this week was fairly quiet. Didn't have a whole lot of properties to show. Thankfully, the one I did show, one of the ones I did show this week ended up in a contract that was accepted. So woohoo, very happy for Tina. Wanted to give a shout out to a podcast that if you're not listening to on a weekly basis, it's called Illinois in Focus from the America's Talking Network. They're on Spotify and Apple and all the channels. Really nice weekly recap of the news. It's a Friday only show, and there's America in Focus and Illinois in Focus. And if you're looking for a place to get some news that you're not going to get in a way that you're getting it on the mainstream media, this is one of the outlets where I'm getting news from, where I feel like I'm hearing stuff that is a little less filtered, shall we say. I'll just leave it at that. So check out Illinois in Focus podcast. Did you mow your lawn this week, Tom? I think everyone was mowing their lawn this week.
No, I don't mow a lawn. I don't mow lawns.
But somebody mows your lawn. You have grass in your front yard.
I do. Here's why I don't mow lawns.
Okay.
Well, okay, I do actually, but I have to mow my lawn in a pattern. I'm colorblind. All right. I'm not severely colorblind, but what happens is I can't see the contrast of the greens. So mowing a lawn for me is very, very difficult. So I wait until it gets very long. So I don't mow it. It just doesn't grow that. We got a big giant tree out front. It doesn't grow that fast. If we've had a lot of rain, it'll start to grow. The backyard gets pretty big, pretty thick. But the front doesn't grow as much. So I mow it maybe once every 2 weeks. I haven't mowed it yet. Because as I said, I can't differentiate unless it's deep enough, long enough.
Well, I'll tell you, it was long enough when I mowed rental properties. What was it, Thursday this week? And I didn't quite get to my own lawn but they were really, really shaggy. They were ready for some mowing. And I know some people are doing the no mow May.
Yes.
All this month. Good luck with that, especially after this rain and the heat that we're going to get this week. You're going to have a field in your yard. So you want to watch out. Oh, Linda's chiming in. Hey, she's going to go ahead and cheat this week. That's not cheating. You have permission. Go for it.
Well, you can. Joann and I can't. We shouldn't anyway. $6 trillion
is the big number of the week, by the way, in case you missed that at the front of the show.
Two more. Have my answer.
2 more shout outs. to this week, of course, Cinco de Mayo is this week, and I had tacos 3 nights in a row this week.
Did you really?
They were all so good. So I wanted to give a shout out to Cantina Tacos. If you haven't had Cantina yet, they're like number 1 on the Rockford's top 10 place for tacos Yelp list or something like that. Very, very yummy. Lucha Cantina, never go wrong with Lucha. It's awesome at Lucha. Had that as well, thanks to our friends at Envoy Mortgage. They brought that over for a Cinco de Mayo celebration in our office at Team Sold on Tony. And I know this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but I got to be honest. Still, my favorite tacos are the shrimp tacos at Chili's.
Okay, I was scared to death you were going to say Taco Bell.
No, heck no.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I had Taco Bell for anything. I don't despise them or nothing, but I'd
go
there.
It's good for cheap food when you want something, just some crunchy whatever. But no, it's not Mexican food.
No. And then we had fish fry from Culver's last night because Culver's reminds me of Wisconsin. I love me a good fish fry. I like me a good Culver's.
Well, it's always nice to go out for a nice expensive meal. Sure.
we brought it home, so
yeah, whatever. Still expensive. I love Culver's. Don't get me wrong. I think Culver's is one of the best restaurants ever. But doggone it, it's expensive.
It's not cheap, but it's good, and it's not fast either. You got to wait a little bit for it because they're making it fresh. I think that's the extent of my shout outs for this week. Anything for you, Tom, before we get to our guest?
Yeah, I got a couple things here that I wanted to talk about.
All
okay,
right.
number one, I'm listening to, and I have a very good ear for music. It puts me in a time and a place. I love my music, and I can tell when something's a remake in a heartbeat. One note out of place, and I can tell. I'm listening to one of my absolute favorite radio stations, 100.5 FM. I love it because they play a lot of 70s, some 80s, some 60s. They played Wildfire. This is the one they've got by Michael Martin Murphy. Yeah, exactly. I love that song. I absolutely love that song. The version they're playing, and I don't know if they realize this, is a redone version, a re-recorded version. You cannot do that. I'm going to send them an email, and I'm going to bring my copy of Wildfire to them and say, please download this, and please put this in the rotation and get rid of the other one. You know when it goes, on a pony she named Wildfire, it'll say, the new version is like, on a pony that she named Wildfire, and you can tell the difference. Most people aren't paying that close attention. It's not and the reason for this, a lot of songs in the 70s, you probably know this, working in the business, a lot of artists kind of got screwed over. They gave over the rights, sold the rights for a good chunk of money because, they were going to be one-hit wonders or whatever. And the producers or the whoever's in charge of the music, whatever, gave them a good sum of money, but now they own the rights to the original music. Now they can put it on the K-Tel albums. They can put it on the compilation albums. Michael Martin Murphy can no longer make money off the original, still record the song. So when you see another one coming out like in the middle 2000s, 70s hits, a compilation of 70s hits, and then they'll have the little asterisk, new stereo recordings. Avoid it like the plague. They're not the original recordings.
All right.
That makes me mad. One more thing.
I agree with you. Let's get to our guest. We've got Jackie Sundquist with us from Ramp, joining us from the palatial studio of her home, I imagine. I don't know. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Are you in Winnebago County, Jackie?
I am. Yes, I am. I'm still in this lovely home you sold or helped us buy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I still remember shopping with you and your husband and your daughter. Mm-hmm. And is it 2 girls?
Yeah. So Maddie was a baby.
Maddie was a baby
when we were shopping, and Chloe was probably 10, now almost 19, in nursing school and all grown up.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I saw you recently post something about Chloe. Is she going into nursing or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I want to, before we get into all things ramp, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Your pre-adult years. What was pre-adult years like for Jackie?
Sure. So I am originally from the Freeport, Illinois area, or Stevenson County. So I graduated as a Freeport pretzel. Go Freeport. And after school, went to Highland Community College for a couple of years, and then got my bachelor's degree through Columbia. I was a full-time working student, so I did the work full-time, go to school full-time. Then I dabbled in some internships in disability services. I knew I wanted to get into human services, but wasn't sure what angle, and my heart and my passion fell into disability and rehabilitation. So geared my degree towards there and ended up at RAMP, which I thought was going to be a temporary kind of stepping stone in my career back in 97. So it'll be 25 years this winter. And grew the organization out in Freeport for quite some time, and then ended up in the Rockford office probably about 11, 12 years ago, maybe even longer now. I'm kind of bad at time these days. And so I've been with the agency since then. And then, as you mentioned, I have two beautiful daughters, Maddie and Chloe, my husband, Eric, and we live out in between Winnebago and Pecatonica now after 8 years. The last 8 years we've been out this way. So it's a little bit about where I'm from.
Nice recap of your years there. So, and it's what an amazing thing. It's such a rare thing these days to talk with someone who's been with the same company for over 2 decades.
I know, especially in this day and age, right? Yeah.
Yeah, everything's everyone's and it's not necessarily the bigger, better deal. People are leaving and looking for other opportunities for myriad, however you want to say that word, different reasons. So you found yourself a landing spot that has obviously fulfilled you in a lot of different ways. Tell us about RAMP, what RAMP is and does, and why you've been there for over 20 years.
Yeah. So I'll answer the last question first. I do think it's very odd. And sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, I've been the same place for 24, 25 years. I must not be able to go anywhere else. But I really sit and do some self-reflection. And it's such a impact and mission match for me. And RAMP has been really good to me and my family and allowed me to grow, from a very young, early professional, into, leading and managing this amazing organization that's serving thousands of people every year in a large area. So that's why I'm still here. It's a really cool program with a great philosophy. And then more about RAMP. So RAMP is what we call a Center for Independent Living. We're one of 22 centers in the state of Illinois and one of over 400 across the United States. All centers like RAMP kind of maintain the same philosophy called the independent living philosophy, where, it's giving people the choices and helping them remove barriers, and that the problem's not with the person and their disability, but the problems with our society, and what can centers do to change society so everyone can participate. I say there's 22 in Illinois, but they're not called RAMP. They all have their own names. They're all individual 501c3s, and they're all very unique, even though we have some commonalities. All centers must provide what we call 5 core services. So we all provide information and referral to the community, to individuals, to families who are looking for resources, services, ways to remove barriers. We provide peer support. I think it's really cool to mention that all centers are led and governed by over 51% of people with disabilities themselves. So over half of our staff and board identify as having some sort of disability. And so then when someone's coming to RAMP or looking to RAMP for services, they know maybe we don't have all the same story or the same situation, but many of our staff and board have been there and done that. And it helps drive, the focus of our organization from the people. We also provide a lot of advocacy, whether that's teaching people to advocate for themselves and their own rights, or teaching the community how to accept everybody and how to abide by different laws and such that make our communities a better place to live. We also do a lot of education and advocacy with our local and state legislators to help develop legislation or enforce legislation that maintains, again, a more accessible, better community. We provide skills training to individuals who are looking to better a skill or learn a new skill that they've never been taught before, including employment. That's something that we've really grown into becoming an employment provider in the last decade. So we provide pre-employment skills training to both youth and adults, and we get them ready to go out in the community and get jobs and be financially independent.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys when I think of RAMP, I think of other or agencies like Milestone or Mosaic. Are there completely separate groups of people that each of those are serving that is totally different from what you do?
You have a great question, Greg. I should have mentioned that. Yeah. So those organizations kind of have their focus, and they might focus on a type of disability or a different service. So what makes it unique and different, and where we don't, double, or overlap with the other organizations, is we are, what's the best way? We're cross disability. So we serve all ages, all disabilities. And when I say the word disability, sometimes people think of in their mind what disability means to them. And so this is a really great way to remind people disability could be mental illness. It could be a developmental disability. It could be physical, which everyone thinks RAMP only serves people with physical disabilities because the word RAMP, and that is so not true. People who are deaf, blind, I'm sure I'm missing something, but so again, that whole spectrum where other organizations are funded just to serve XYZ, diagnoses, and can only provide, these services that are state and federal funded, where RAMP we really have a lot of unrestricted funding to really do whatever is needed to serve that person. We don't really have money to give people. It's really our people serving other people. But we get to really get creative, just like with employment services. The state and federal grants that we receive to be a center don't fund employment services, but we saw a need a decade ago and we figured out how to do it. And now we have like 4 funding sources that we braid to serve people of all ages who want to get back to work or get their first job. I'd also be amiss if I don't mention one of our larger programs is getting people out of institutions. So if someone ends up in a nursing home or some other, type of institution setting, we do have funding to get them out back into their own home or community or back living where they were living prior to an accident or injury or whatever landed them there. And that's probably the one program where we actually have funds where we can go out and buy new furniture, pay for first month's rent and deposit, new kitchen dishes, whatever it is that's not able to be done because they've been in a nursing home so long. And another really cool program that a lot of people don't know about is we offer free amplified phones for people with hearing impairments or who are deaf. It's through this Illinois telecommunications. Everyone who has a phone service pays a little fee every month on their bills, and that's including cell phones. And so we are able to demonstrate these phones in our Freeport and DeKalb offices. And people could get a free phone or phone amplifier delivered to their home because they've already paid for it in taxes. So it's open to everybody in Illinois.
Well, that's cool. There's so much that RAMP does. I'm sure you can't cover it all in one setting, but you can say that the funds needed to do this aren't 100% just given to you from federal or state funds. So you need to raise some funds. And
yes, we have an amazing fundraising team, our development team, who have several special events, which I can chat about today, and also do, a lot of one-on-ones with donors and apply for local grants and foundations. We raise probably pretty close to $500,000 a year just so that we can do what we want to do and not be dependent on the state and federal government, just like we're trying to teach those we serve. We don't want you to be dependent on state and federal monies. So we don't want to be either. We want to be that role model.
Love it. Love it. Good. Well, of the things that are coming up here this summer, the sip and sample thing is this Thursday already.
Yes.
Which is that something that's ticketed and already filled, or can someone still go to that?
No, we are looking for more people to join us. So next Thursday, May 12th, from 5 to 8 p.m., we're going to be at the Anderson Japanese Gardens this year. We try to change our location every year to keep it fun and exciting. There'll be several vendors sampling wine, beer, spirits, food. And the tickets, I believe, they are $30 in advance. So you can go to Ramp's website and click on the event tab, and it'll take you to the Sip and Sample website, and you can purchase your tickets there, or you can purchase them at the door.
We got Sip and Sample May 12th, the Bad Pants Open, which I love that idea, June 15th at Timber Point, and then the River Run in August, marathon, half marathon, 5K run, 3K walk, wheel, all kinds of stuff. And there's even more coming up later this year. So check out the page, rampcil.org, and click on events, and you will find that all there.
I'll put a little plug in for the Bad Pants Open. So the reason for the name is that you have to wear the ugliest pants or other garb. And it's really, you don't have to be a great golfer. You just want to have fun. And the dinner's catered in by, I'm going to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to even try. Dinner's catered in that night, but there's like events at each of the holes. And it's just a really good time to get a foursome out there and hit a couple balls, but know you're supporting Ramp in the meantime.
How much is the Bad Pants Open?
It is not on my sheet, but if you go to that same event link, you can register right there online.
Because Greg and I are quite the golfers, not really, but I do have a few bad pairs of pants.
That would be great. And there's awards for the really bad pants, or the really, if the whole team has a theme.
Foursome only. Okay, here we go. Foursome only, 9 holes, $340. Where's here you go. Plaid sponsor includes one golf foursome, 18 holes. This is for 4 for $750. So split $750 among 4 folks.
Well, that's if you're sponsoring a hole, though. To actually just golf, it is not that much. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me find that for you.
Because there's dinner tickets.
So for a foursome to attend is $340. So you divide that by 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like $80. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. So whatever. It's I don't know. Math is hard. It's like $85, maybe 90. 9 times 4 is 36.
And there's there's tastings at the different holes, and there's just some fun little games at each one and such. And so we keep you happy, fed, and you have a great time at the end of the night. There's a silent auction at the end of the night with a lot of really cool sports related items and grills and whatever we get for the year donated. So it's a good time.
And it's in June. It's June 15th. So there's still time to donate stuff. If your small business can donate gift cards or whatever kind of trinkets or signed stuff or whatever you might have that you could say, hey, I don't need this, but I'll donate this, and see if Ramp can raise some money with it. It's fun to donate stuff and then see what it can get for some of these silent auction type things. I've had a fun time doing that with PAWS over the years and things like, I'm going to donate this and see what it gets. And oh, wow, that was really cool. A lot of people wanted that.
Yeah. I have a girlfriend who does intricate woodworking, and this year she's going to donate a couple pieces and see how it goes. She sells it or custom makes it for people in her family circle, but doesn't really do a lot of advertisement. But she's got a couple of pieces that she doesn't have room for in her own house. So she's like, let me donate these and see how they go. But so, it's really anything, a lot of small businesses can't afford to donate or sponsor an event cash wise. But this is a way you can gift something that helps promote your own business or specialty. And it benefits Ramp financially in the end too.
There's a contact link as well on the Ramp website. Again, rampcil.org. I'll put this here in the comments too, so you can get a link right to the events page. And if you can donate something, whether it's stuff or cash, whatever, to help support these events, that would be an awesome thing to do and support what Ramp does here in our area. Any other final things, Jackie, that you want to touch on before we let you go?
I would regret if I didn't also share. We provide services to businesses and organizations as well. We're not only just focused on serving individuals. And what that consists of is we can provide disability awareness, disability etiquette trainings. We can create custom trainings to help businesses with something going on, in DEI initiatives, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And also we have a trained staff person who can go into a business or organization and do what we call an accessibility assessment and give them ideas on what they can do at low cost ways to make their business more open and accessible to all people. So.
All right. So check out the website again, Ramp. And I wanted to put the logo up. There we go. Get that logo up here so everybody can see. Ramp, no limits. Check out their website. Check out their Facebook page. There's a lot going on with Ramp, and it's a wonderful thing to have their services available here in the Stateline area. So thanks for coming on the show today, Jackie. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you for the invite. This is awesome. A great way to spread our word.
Hopefully we'll see you in June. Hopefully Tom and I can make it to this golf event, and either way, we'll have you back on at some point to catch us up on all things Ramp again.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a great Saturday.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too. There she goes, Sundquist from Ramp. And if you, again, check out the website, follow them on Facebook, link up to them on LinkedIn, all that stuff. It's all there. They are very active.
I'm in if you're in.
The area. Yeah, well, I should be in. Let's definitely talk about that.
And that's on a Thursday. Is that right?
It is on a Monday.
On a Monday. Okay. All right.
The 15th. Is it a Sunday or is it a Monday?
It wouldn't be a Sunday. They're usually, because I don't think Timber Point or any of those places are going to give up their valuable.
Oh, it says Wednesday.
So
Wednesday, June 15th. Okay, I'm way off. Something's off of my calendar brain.
Check up at the top. Does it say 2022 or 2021?
Well, all I know is on the Ramp website it says Wednesday, June 15th, 2022 at 10.
All right, there you go. I was going to ask her what Ramp stands for. I think it's Regional Access and Mobilization Project. That's what it used to be.
But
anyway,
you didn't.
Yeah,
didn't think that.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we're bring in Joann here and go through a bunch of randoms for the week because there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to get to before we get to all things PAWS. Good morning, Joann.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joann. Before you do that, I had one other thing I wanted to talk about, but we can do it afterwards. It doesn't really matter. Something kind of important.
Okay, go ahead.
I called Dish Network yesterday, and I love Dish Network. I've had them before. I want to get them back because I got Sling and I hate internet TV. I called, and immediately it transferred me to a different number. And it was a foreign voice that said, "Welcome to Dish Network. How may I help you?" And something didn't seem right because normally it's a, "Hi, you've called Dish Network. See if I can help you." And I recognized that. So I said, you know what? I think I may have dialed wrong. So I dialed again, and I got a different one. I got the actual Dish Network. I dialed the next number down. So I think what's happening is the scammers are putting up a number, and you're calling, and they're then claiming to be. I mean, they're not intercepting a call. Mm-hmm. You actually called them. It says Dish Network.
One number off.
Well, it was considerably off, but it was an 888 number, and the other one I needed was an 855 number. But yeah. But what it's doing is saying Dish Network, and then you're getting this foreign voice. Doesn't matter what voice it was. It was a foreign voice. You can figure it out. And it was a red flag to me. So then I called the next number down, and it was the Dish Network number.
That's crazy.
Please be careful when you're calling places. And I hate to single out somebody based on voice or whatever, but that's usually what happens. There are call centers in different countries that are putting those numbers up there. So,
and it happens a lot with Nicor Gas and ComEd, especially because your gas bills and your electric bills, obviously you want to keep those on. And there's a lot of scammers that tie themselves to those names. You'll get emails that look like it's from Nicor, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's they're not affiliated with Nicor Gas at all. So you got to be careful. Call the number on your bill. Call the number on your account, not just some random thing that you saw.
That's kind of scary because you initiated the call.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it's one thing to get a call, and then you hear that little click, and it's what do you call a scammer call? Because it's an 815, and it's a click, and then they're talking about Medicare or final expenses or whatever. But when you initiate the call, when you initiate the call, it's a little bit scarier to know they can
I know.
you
And
off, kind of.
my spidey sense kind of went off, and I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Are you lying?
Yeah, right.
That was just. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm sick and tired of scammers. And I'll tell you what, I have. We'll save it for another day, but I got a complaint against the phone company and selling information. I have the current phone company I have, which I will not have in 2 weeks. I'm switching over. I've already got my SIM card in the mail. We'll talk about that next week.
All right. Got a bunch of stuff to get to this week as far as SMS info goes. First off, of course, happy Mother's Day, Joann, and all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
I hope you feel appreciated and loved because you are. It's the toughest job in the world, being a mom. What else do you care about more than your kids? Nothing. So, hey, bless your kids and grandkids. That's right.
And animals.
Hey, a couple things about Rock Valley College to pass along today. Rock Valley College Old Town Band, conducted by Mark Rose, had a free concert last night, and they're doing it again tonight at 7:30. This is the Old Town Band, part of Rock Valley College's continuing education program. It's a 20-piece band. They specialize in playing popular American band music from the early 20th century, ragtime, Dixieland, circus marches, novelties, early swing music, all the fun stuff. Lively music, audience participation, and stupid jokes. That's right. They said it themselves.
Oh, that's my specialty.
Even your weird cousin would have fun at this thing, so bring them. Children are especially welcome as well. Rock Valley College, the Performing Arts Room, which is in the basement of the library building, at 7:30 tonight, absolutely free. A good old time will be had by all. Also, kudos to Rock Valley College Golden Eagles softball program. They've reached 30 wins for the 10th straight season.
Wow.
They are on a national title-winning run that is unmatched by any other softball program in any other collegiate level. They've won 7 in a row. If they do it again this year, it'll be 8. No other NJCAA softball team has ever won 7 national championships in a row. And this year, Rock Valley College is 39-9. They're ranked number 1 in the nation again in Division III. And next year, the entire school is going to shift to Division II, which you might think that's a bad thing, but truthfully, that'll add scholarship opportunities and other advantages.
That's right. You can have
kudos to Rock.
Yeah, you can have a half scholarship as a Division II school.
Nice. So Coach Monroe is doing it right, and the players know they got a great program there, and they want to keep it going. So, best of luck to the Golden Eagles in the postseason, which I believe starts a week from today, or it's next week at some point when the postseason starts for softball. Kentucky Derby is today. It's going to be a packed Churchill Downs. The $8 billion casino business that runs the horse race is entering a big weekend, feeling pretty lucky. Last week, they reported record sales and profits for last quarter. Churchill Downs grew its online gambling business huge during the pandemic, and they expect to post record Derby revenue this weekend. Possibly 3 times as many fans will attend compared to last year. And got your Derby hat. I was going to wear a goofy hat. I don't know if I got anything goofy enough. Let's see. Should I throw this on?
And Greg is gone. Oh.
How about that? Well, that didn't.
Wow.
You can't even see it because
that's woohoo.
I'll skip that. I don't have a good Derby hat.
My Derby hat.
There's your Derby hat. Palm oil is in about half of your groceries, in case you didn't know. And palm oil is about to get pricier. Indonesia is the world's largest palm oil producer. They have banned exports to keep prices in check for their local consumers. That's bad news for companies like Hormel, Colgate Palmolive, and the Yum brands. They use palm oil in Skippy peanut butter and toothpaste, and even in KFC chicken. Palm oils and on a lot of stuff. And just one more thing to add to inflation. Thank you, palm oil.
Right,
and then here's our quick.
Understand why it would be more expensive. So KFC can't serve palm oil, so then just serve put a little olive oil in it or something else. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the palm oil has something to do with it. But they're not going to close their doors, so why does it have to be more expensive? If anything, palm oil sounds like it's pretty expensive. Maybe it should be cheaper.
Yeah.
Maybe
we got to find a new
source. It's a good idea. Use a substitution.
Yeah.
I wonder what substitutions. Put us in the chat, cooks and such. If you know anything of a substitution for palm oil, we don't know. Is olive oil a good substitution for palm oil?
I know you cook with olive oil.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's in Skippy peanut butter too.
Yeah.
So figure that one out. I don't know. I don't get it. 35%. Okay, here's your quick randoms for this week. Hopefully this will make you think a little bit. 35% of adults say they would like to have a refrigerator in their car. Cuts, right? If you got a big enough car, I guess you got room for a refrigerator.
Why couldn't you just
maybe.
if you're going on a big trip, why couldn't you just take ice box? Okay, I won't talk about the 35%. Just take a cooler. I've done that. If I'm taking a long trip, I would take a cooler and have my pop or whatever in a cooler.
Yeah, because the cooler would take up far less space. I mean, you would be able to put more in a cooler because you could shove it in there.
So we're the 70%, or is it 65% that don't think it's necessary?
But with a refrigerator, you don't need ice. It's because it's powered and keeps things cool.
All gas stations have ice.
That's right. That's right. And also, how much room? This is my point. How much room does the refrigerator take up? And how much would you be able to put in there? It would have to take up a lot of room for you to put several waters in there.
Just take a cooler. Come on, guys.
Take a cooler.
We'll look for the next.
I agree.
Next round of Teslas.
Only 35% is not a big. Give us something that 75% people want, Greg.
How about a jumping robot? Researchers in the University of California, Santa Barbara, they've built a robot that can jump over 100 feet high in the air, 3 times higher than the previous record for leaping robots. That's a little scary.
Why?
Okay.
What's the point?
I don't know.
We're a little argumentative today, Greg. Did you notice that?
That's okay. Have you ever done this before? Have you ever gotten up in the morning, poured yourself a bowl of cereal, and in the haze of your morningness, poured orange juice instead of milk? I just heard that on
NPR this morning, that's the new thing to drink.
Tropicana.
To have your cereal with orange juice instead of milk. Why?
Tropicana Crunch is a breakfast cereal made to be doused in orange juice, not milk. Cereal launched this Wednesday, which not coincidentally was also National Orange Juice Day. I like me a good glass of orange juice, but I don't know about orange juice cereal.
What kind of cereal is it?
They call it Tropicana Crunch.
Oh, okay. So it does better in orange juice than milk.
Or Orangeos,
right? They say it will create an unforgettable breakfast experience. Honey almond breakfast cereal, specially made so orange juice is used instead of milk.
Interesting.
I like orange juice. I don't think I want it dousing my cereal. Did you know there's a cup noodles museum in Japan? Right, mango juice is yummy too. Yokohama, Japan is where you'll find the Cup Noodles Museum. It's an entire museum dedicated to instant noodles and their creator, Momofuku Ando.
Careful.
Who knew? Eminem, Pat Benatar, Lionel Richie, all among the newest inductees too.
You're waiting.
Are we switching here? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
There you go. Yeah,
what is
good
it?
job. Okay. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Eminem. Not Eminem Candy.
No, not Eminem Candy, the rapper.
That's what threw me off. I right away went to candy. I must be hungry.
Let's see if you can guess this one. There was an artist also that's been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but she asked not to be included. Do you know what artist I'm talking about?
I thought it was Dolly Parton. No?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations. Dolly said no, thank you.
But I thought now she was changing her mind.
Did she change her mind?
I thought she did.
Maybe she did. But when I read this article, she was saying, thank you for the honor, but I'm not a rock and roller. That's not me.
That I don't get. I don't get that. It should just simply be the Music Hall of Fame.
That way. She didn't want to be known as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She wanted to be inducted in the Country Hall of Fame.
And you can be both. Right. That's no problem. but I don't understand why they call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because you've got Aretha Franklin in there. You've got a lot of these groups that they're not rock and roll. They're rhythm and blues, or they're, whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
The whole genre thing is tough to define because there is overlapping things. There are some songs you could argue that I'm sure you could find a Dolly Parton song or two
that was rock and
sounded
roll.
kind of rockin'. And consider this: she's written hundreds, if not thousands, of songs. Some of her songs have been turned into rock and roll songs.
We'll check it out.
So
I do love her new book, Run Rose Run. She wrote it with James Patterson.
Okay.
I loved it. There's a lot of critics that say it's not good, but I loved it. But I love Dolly Parton.
She's awesome. She is hard. Yeah, she's way awesome. All right. Last thing, Wikipedia has a list of common misconceptions that is very oddly illuminating. It even reminds us that Twinkies don't actually last forever. The Wikipedia page of list of common misconceptions, I've got to share it because this thing is really fun. Check this out. Here is a dynamic list. I know this is going to be kind of small to read on this screen. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. A list of common misconceptions. Dynamic list may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness, but you can help by adding missing items with reliable sources. You scroll down, and the first one is arts, culture, food, and cooking. Did you know that searing does not seal moisture in meat? In fact, it causes it to lose some moisture. Meat is seared to brown it, improving its color and flavor, not to lock in juices. And as we just said, Twinkies, the American snack cake, generally considered to be junk food, does have a shelf life of about 45 days, not decades. Yeah. Food history, microwave ovens, film and television. Ronald Reagan was never seriously considered for the role of Rick Blaine in the 1942 classic film Casablanca. Sorry, Ronald. The Wizard of Oz, not the first color film. No.
What was the first color film then?
It doesn't say.
Oh.
Was Gone with the Wind a color film?
I thought so. It was.
Anyway,
Gone with the Wind was the same year as Wizard of Oz.
They're both 1939, yeah. But yes. I think it came out slightly before. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter.
I don't know.
Well,
let's see. I will copy the link. And I'm going to put it in the chat.
That will be or else Tom can do it. Or Joann could do it. Oh, that's the link. I thought there was something exciting on the side.
I'm going to post the link so you can follow along.
But
also, if you haven't joined the hustle yet, join the hustle.
I thought we need to research and find out what was the first colored film then.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not on that list. You think it would be there, but
because it's like to say something is not and then tell you what is.
Yeah, it just makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do.
Joann is not the most famous person in the world, but Tom Warner is. That's what you should do. I need an answer.
All right, Tom's looking it up. Joann, why don't you give us a little tour around PAWS this morning?
And Tom will have the answer when we get done. Tom always likes when I can't.
A visit to the seaside, 1908. That's what it says here.
A visit to the seaside.
Natural color. The first commercially produced film in natural color was A Visit to the Seaside, 1908.
I want to show you these kittens. I don't even know that movie. This is like.
I never.
It's only 8 minutes.
Oh, this family of kittens. I don't think they're up for adoption, but there's a mom and an aunt in there. But they're just 6 kittens.
I've never seen your community room or whatever that's called so full of cats before.
Well, this isn't the community room. This is just enclosure. Look at it. Looks like the kitten's chewing on my foot there.
Yeah.
I love reflections, which I think explains most UFO sightings, but that's okay.
That and a bottle of hooch.
These kittens are probably just not ready for adoption yet. The mom is right here, and she's a beautiful cat too. And then we have Auntie waiting in the wings. Is this backwards today?
It is.
Yeah, that's okay. May's off to a good start.
There
There you go.
I'm getting smarter. This is May, so we have 4 cats adopted and just 1 dog. But it's only May 6th, so we've got a long way to go.
May 7th.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm lucky I know it's May. And then I did send, we have some, up there's kind of dark in there. Sometimes I have trouble finding the cats. Who is this? She says, I'm shy, but I don't know what, can't see his name. I'd take up too much time looking for his name. Here's the community room. This is the community room. So you can tell it's a little bit bigger. These cats are all saying they need food, but they've been fed. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 cats in here. Oh, nice looking cats. This room we've now used as an adoption room when dogs come in. So even though it's another community room, we kind of have designated it for the dogs so that the dogs can be away from all the cats. And this is, oh, she's kind of unladylike right now. Here's the cat I sent Greg as cat of the pet of the week.
Here now.
But she's kind of being unladylike right now. And her friend Felix it's a bonded pair again, so they go together. She's kind of looking up now, but I thought it was lovely. Yeah. And then got some cats in the side cages that are not well eating. Hey guys. So you're saying I'm a UFO because it's my reflection. I don't know how to really show this without doing a reflection, I guess. Greg's not helping me.
That's okay. That's good. It is what it is.
This one I showed already, but I couldn't find his name. Remington, like the gun. So, no, what else is a Remington? So that's kind of no dogs today. We've lost some of our fosters. And so if you're thinking of fosters, we could sure use you. You know, kitten season is here, and these kittens probably are about 6 weeks old, I would say. Gotta love kittens. And then, of course, here's Heidi, who's doing really well. And Heidi is the one who had the surgery, and she is ready for adoption now. Kind of looking for a home that not many stairs and probably not young children. And she really doesn't like other cats. So would prefer a place as an only pet. So
looking for a house of her own.
Yes.
Awesome. Good job. Very nice tour around PAWS Humane Society for the day today. And that brings us to our big number of the week. Are you ready?
Well, it is almost 9. I was going to say almost 8.
It's about time. Let's do it. Let's do our big number of the week, which this week is a really big one. It is 6 trillion. That's right, with a T. 6 trillion, the big number of the week. Time to make your guess. This week you're guessing gain or golf. Gain or golf. Our current race to 10 has Joann leading by a score of 1-0. And while they're checking that out, just a quick reminder that ramp services information We got links in our comments today. We're asking you to follow us on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, which, by the way, Linda put her comment today on YouTube today instead of Facebook. And she said she's cheating. She's going to troll and look for today's big number by doing some Google searching. I wonder if she could. That's okay. That's what we want you to do. Absolutely. All right. Are you ready to give me your answer? Let's give it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Game.
Go. I had to. You threw me. No, I'm not cheating. You threw me.
Okay.
You threw me when you said game.
She jumped the gun. She said game, but you were going to say golf anyway,
yeah,
Tom?
I was going to say golf.
I did. Did I go? Did I go ahead? I thought you said 3, 2, 1.
I did. There's a lag. There's a lag there. I'm thankful that it's not like many seconds.
Tom
long
was lagging by a lot more, though.
I was.
Caught him off guard. So
he was still Googling it.
Yeah, sure.
American homeowners over the last 2 years have gained all kinds of equity in their homes. Housing wealth in America the last 2 years has grown by $6 trillion. That's a gain of $6 trillion. Congratulations, Joann.
Yay!
Yes, you are absolutely correct. It is gain, and that gives you an early 2-0 lead on our race to 10. If you've ever watched a golf tournament or a charity event, you've probably seen some kind of prize, like a big cash prize or a flashy car or a vacation package for acing one of the holes during the event. It's always fun to walk up to that hole, and there's someone there to monitor the hole. And they say, yep, if you get a hole in one in this hole, you win that car that's parked down there by the green. Just don't hit the car. Or this car over here parked by the tee box.
You win the car that's got 7 dents on it.
Right? The chances of this happening at an amateur golf event are minuscule. It's about 1 in 12,500. So it does happen. I was
going to say
but it's very rare.
That's low, but man, there are worse odds, you know?
Yeah. So again, when doing these charity golf events, it's fun to go and you get to, here you are, the 7th hole. It's a par 3, 137 yards. If you can get a hole in one on this hole, you win that car, or you win this vacation, and it's an insurance policy that the tournament takes out in case someone wins.
Oh,
because
they really don't want them to win, right?
No, you do want them to win, because the organization that already paid for the insurance policy, they've paid for it.
Oh,
they want you to win, but obviously it has to be monitored and it has to be legit. You can't just. There have been people sent to prison for cheating on these things before. In case you're wondering, it's happened. So,
is there someone
Linda
there
says she
to
wrote
document it?
She wrote it down before she peeked online.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Linda. I was talking about winning the car.
I'm trying to think if I've been at an event before where someone actually won the big hole-in-one prize.
I have never in my life
you
seen
go to
a
these
hole-in-one. I have on TV, but never in person.
Yeah, I want to say I was at an event a few years ago, maybe 2017, 2015, whatever it was. Well, it's been a while ago that someone did ace the hole and win the prize, and had to get it verified or whatnot. But anyway, I forget what the prize was that day. I want to say it was a car.
Huh. Interesting.
Anyway,
maybe if it was a miniature golf, Tom, we could get a hole-in-one.
I've done that before.
Well, again, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, and a reminder to everybody, you change the world when you help one person to be a blessing to someone this week. Not just mom, but also mom, okay?
There's
also
lots of
mom
moms
and
out
other
there.
Yep. Be a blessing and share some goodness this week. Any other final thoughts before we say goodbye?
No, Milwaukee Bucks today, 1 p.m., I believe. 1 p.m. They're going to beat up on the Celtics.
Go, Bucks, go.
Isn't there a Cubs game too? I thought there was a Mother's Day Cubs game.
There always is.
There is.
There's a game every Sunday. Every Sunday.
Because it's breast cancer awareness for the Cubs. So one of my friends who is a survivor of breast cancer is, I don't know, throwing a pitch or maybe out on the field. So she's kind of for her Mother's Day.
So awesome. Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty awesome. But I said my Mother's Day will probably be serve dinner at my daughter's house. But we're all going to get together different ways.
We're all going to get together at a restaurant with the kids and everything. So that'll be fun.
Thanks again to Jackie Sundquist from Ramp for joining us and being our special guest today. As always, Joann out at PAWS. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you next week here on our Saturday morning Stateline show.
Rest of your day and rest of your week.
Rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.